What if 80% of your desires aren't actually yours? How to discover if you're living someone else's dreams? What if I told you that 80% of your choices aren't actually yours? That career you're chasing, that relationship you're seeking, that life you picture as perfect, what if it's all just programming installed by others? Sounds disturbing, right? But that's exactly what happens when our minds deceive us about our true desires. Neuroscience has revealed something terrifying. Our brains can't distinguish between what we genuinely want and what we've been conditioned to want. A Stanford University study showed that people repeatedly exposed to certain ideas end up internalizing these concepts as their own desires, even when they contradict their fundamental values. Think about the last time you said, "I want this." Where did that desire come from? Was it truly yours? Or was it planted by your parents' expectations, social pressure, social media, the content you consume? The truth is, most of us live on autopilot, following scripts written by others while believing we're in control. What's most terrifying is that our mind is a master of self-deception. It creates convincing narratives to justify desires that aren't even ours. Have you ever caught yourself wanting something intensely, and then when you got it, felt a strange emptiness? That happens because you just fulfilled someone else's dream using your own energy. Imagine discovering you've spent years of your life chasing goals that were never really yours. That you sacrificed time, energy, and relationships for something that, deep down, doesn't complete or fulfill you. It sounds like a nightmare, but for many people, this is daily reality. The good news is there's a way to hack this system. There's a method to separate your authentic desires from those that were implanted in you. But it requires courage to question everything you believe you want. It requires the courage to look within and discover who you really are when nobody's watching. The first step is recognizing the signs. Your true desires bring energy, genuine enthusiasm, and a sense of inner alignment. Imposed desires bring anxiety, pressure, and a constant feeling that you need to prove something to someone. How about starting right now? Your authentic desires feel like coming home to yourself. They don't drain you, they energize you. When you think about them, even briefly, something inside lights up. It's not the frantic energy of, "I need this to be happy," but the calm certainty of, "This is who I am." The most revealing question you can ask yourself is, if nobody would ever know about this, would I still want to do it? If you hesitate, you might be dealing with an external expectation disguised as personal desire. Comment below about one desire you've always questioned whether it was truly yours. Like this video if you want to discover more about identifying these patterns, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey of self-discovery together. Why your brain sabotaged your real dreams. What if the biggest enemy of your real dreams was actually your own mind? It seems contradictory, but that's exactly what happens when we discover the truth about how our deepest mental patterns work. Your brain was programmed to keep you safe, not happy. It prefers the familiarity of known unhappiness over the risk of unknown happiness. That's why every time you get close to your true desires, it sounds danger alarms. That's too risky. You don't deserve this. Better stay where you are. Sound familiar? Behavioral psychology has discovered something revolutionary. Our brain interprets our true desires as threats to the status quo. Harvard University researchers identified that when we're about to act toward our authentic dreams, our nervous system activates the same stress responses it would activate when facing a predator. This explains why it's so much easier to follow the path others laid out for us. The brain doesn't need to spend energy creating new neural pathways. It simply follows the tracks already established by external expectations. It's like walking on a treadmill. You're moving, but not getting anywhere. What's most perverse is that our mind creates an illusion of choice. It presents us with options that seem different, but are actually all variations of the same safe theme. It's like choosing between being a doctor, lawyer, or engineer when your true desire is to be an artist. The options seem diverse, but they all follow the same script of socially approved success. Here's the insight that can change everything. Your true desires are usually those you most fear pursuing. They're the ones that make your heart race, not from anxiety, but from genuine excitement. They're the ones you feel ashamed to share because they seem unrealistic or childish in others' eyes. The big revelation is that your mind protects you from your own dreams because it knows that achieving them means you'll have to become a completely new version of yourself. And change, even positive change, is interpreted as danger by your primitive survival system. But there's a strategy to bypass this internal sabotage. Start small. Take micro actions toward your true desires. This confuses the brain's alarm system because it doesn't perceive small changes as significant threats. The most liberating realization is that you don't need anyone's approval to follow your true desires, not even from your own conditioned mind. You can simply choose to trust that inner voice that always knew the way, even when you weren't listening. Reflect on this. What's that dream you always minimize or hide from others? Share in the comments if you feel comfortable. Like this video if you're starting to connect the dots, and subscribe so we can discover together how to reprogram these patterns. How to distinguish between your true desires and mental traps. What if there was a scientific way to discover what you actually want, separating it from all the external programming contaminating your thoughts? The good news is there is, and it's simpler than you think. Your true desires have a unique, energetic signature. When you think about them, even for a second, something inside you lights up. It's not anxiety. It's not pressure, it's a feeling of, yes, this makes sense. It's like all the pieces of a puzzle fitting together perfectly. A fascinating study from Princeton's Neuroscience Institute revealed that when we think about our authentic desires, specific brain areas related to intrinsic motivation activate completely differently than when we think about externally imposed goals. You can literally see the difference in neuroimaging scans. Here's the definitive test. Your true desires energize you even when you're tired. Ever notice how you can spend hours doing something you love without feeling drained? But 30 minutes doing something you want leaves you exhausted? That's your internal compass working. Another characteristic of authentic desires is that they come with a sense of inevitability. It's not that you need to achieve them to prove something, it's that you simply know you will. It's a quiet conviction, not a noisy anxiety. Imposed desires, on the other hand, always come with elaborate justifications. You need to explain to yourself why you want them. I'll do this because it'll give me financial security, because my parents will be proud, because it's what successful people do. True desires don't need justifications, they simply are. There's a powerful technique to make this distinction. Imagine you have only 6 months to live and unlimited money. What would you do? The first answers that come to mind, before your logic interferes, are probably your most authentic desires. Another crucial indicator, your true desires don't depend on others' approval to be valid. They exist independently of who will applaud or criticize. They're yours, completely yours. The most revealing question you can ask yourself is, if nobody would ever know about this, would I still want to do it? If the answer is yes, you're probably dealing with an authentic desire. If you hesitate, it might be time to investigate deeper. Your authentic desires don't scream for attention like imposed ones. They whisper with a soft but persistent voice that only you can hear when you stop making so much mental noise. They feel like coming home to yourself. Start today. Identify one desire that energizes you just thinking about it. Share with us in the comments what was your biggest discovery watching this video. Like if this is making sense to you, and subscribe so we can keep exploring the mysteries of the human mind. What if you could reprogram your mind to follow your true desires? What if the key to an authentic life wasn't discovering new desires, but cleaning your mind of everything that isn't truly yours? Imagine waking up one day and feeling crystal clarity about what you really want, free from all the external voices polluting your thoughts. Real transformation happens when you stop trying to add more things to your life and start subtracting everything that doesn't belong to you. It's like cleaning a dirty mirror. The image was always there, just obscured by dirt accumulated over the years. Yale University researchers discovered something extraordinary. People who spend just 10 minutes a day questioning their motivations experience a significant increase in life satisfaction in only 30 days. The secret isn't finding new answers, but questioning old assumptions that were never yours. Here's the exercise that can revolutionize your life. Every time you think, I want this, pause and ask, who in me wants this? You'll be surprised to discover how many different voices inhabit your mind. Your ambitious father's voice, your worried mother's, your demanding bosses, your competitive friends. When you learn to identify these voices, you can consciously choose which one to follow. True freedom begins when you realize you don't need to want everything your mind presents as desirable. You can simply observe these impulses like clouds passing in the sky, interesting, but not necessarily your life guides. Your true desires are like seeds that already exist within you. They don't need to be planted, just discovered and nurtured. They don't scream for attention like imposed desires. They whisper with a soft but persistent voice that only you can hear. When you stop making so much mental noise, the most liberating thing is realizing you don't need anyone's approval to follow your true desires, not even from your own conditioned mind. You can simply choose to trust that inner voice that always knew the way, even when you weren't listening. The journey back to your authentic desires isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you always were before the world told you who you should be. It's about peeling away layers of expectations until you reach your genuine core. Start right now. Choose one area of your life where you suspect you might be living someone else's desires. It could be career, relationships, lifestyle, anything. Spend the next few days observing where your motivations in that area really come from. Tell us in the comments, what was your biggest revelation in this video? If you're ready for this journey of self-discovery, subscribe for more content that challenges your way of thinking, and share with someone who needs to hear this today.